So if we go up to any character, we should just be able to launch him with our spikes. Oh, that's just one of 100 Forsaken myths I busted in this video. And if you watch the entire thing, you're gonna become the smartest Forsaken player in the world. Because I'm breaking down which are legit, straight lies, and which ones might actually be game breaking. Recognizing attack patterns is super important, so knowing which one's the slowest could literally save your life. This myth stays a myth. Now this glitch is a little bit game breaking. But if we find a wall like this over here, and we use pizza delivery, we can basically just climb over it like it's nothing. And while it takes a while to recharge, if you're playing Ring Around the Rosie with somebody, it makes it so much easier to get to them.
Let's do that again sometime.
If you're on the map Horror Hotel and go stand in front of one of these walls, if you get Jason to come over and use Gashing Wound on you, you should be able to glitch through it. I teleported through, but I didn't actually go through. What? Okay. And there we go. All right, yeah. Myth confirmed. Now this next glitch feels more like a feature than a bug. As 2-time, if you crouch and use dagger with a killer behind a wall, you can hit them through it. And this works with absolutely any wall. Now something super special about the avian sight skin is the fact that when you shoot his gun, it makes basically no noise.
I feel no pain. Can you say the same?
Something that's absolutely insane about this skin is the fact that if I just zoom in a little bit, as long as a character has highlights, I can literally see them basically across the map. Like legitimately, it makes them so much easier to see. It's a little bit cheaty. It's a little bit cheaty. Now, can killers be beheaded? Oh, yeah, okay. So it's true, yeah. I guess oh, wow. Builderman's B-Sod skin allows you to type in chat anything less than 4 letters, and it'll appear on his face. But make sure you don't type anything sus in chat, or you'll burn to death. All I gotta do is go to the map Brandon Works, and place my camera inside of the forest right here. And it should play noises. Just because the skin is colored gray, if you use clone with it, you become completely invisible to the killer. On Ultimate Assassin Grounds, there's this insane hiding spot you can do just by charging into this wall here. And it's so simple. Honestly, it's probably one of the best hiding spots you can find in any one of the maps. But is it safe from killers? Well, I'm not too sure about that. If you're using Cool Kid, you can basically charge and get to the exact same spot. But then again, not many people even know about this glitch yet. Can survivors kill other survivors? Now, if we turn friendly fire on, then we should be able to. There you go. That's literally it. So if we go up to any character, we should just be able to launch him with our spikes. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it works. It works. Can a noob drink 2 sodas at once? Let's see. Yes, but it really doesn't do anything. Can clones eat pizza? Yes, they can. On Ultimate Assassin Grounds, as guessed, if you use your charge, which gives you slowness 2 effect, that lasts 15 seconds, if you walk into the water, it only brings it down to 2 seconds. If you're in the lobby and walk outside to the right, you'll see a sign that says, "Why so serious?" If you're playing on the map Brandon Works and come over to this corner and turn your camera into it, you'll see a pink room. It's seemingly specific to this map and inaccessible by players. Now, who was Cool Kid? Well, Cool Kid wasn't an actual person, but rather an alternate account created by 007 and 7 for its exploiting group, who mainly targeted games like Work at a Pizza Place and Natural Disaster Survival. Now, if you click on Elliot and look at his skins, there's a character named Lulu. Now, she isn't just some kind of random character. Back in 2014, when all the Cool Kid hackings were still happening, a YouTuber by the name of Lulu Loves the Game was one of the first people to actually record these hackings. Now, for most of Forsaken's history, they've only had 4 killers, but there's a few of them that were left behind. Some of them, like these here, were just concepts, and some others were fully implemented, modeled, and scripted but for some reason just never got used in the game. And while we're also still talking about killers, we should probably also talk about the developer exclusive killers. Anime characters just seem to be really popular for some reason. And then you have Minecraft Steve and Govey. Apparently, it's supposed to be a rabbit. On March 18th, John Doe gets stat boosts that make him basically invincible. It's the same thing for Jason, just this time on Friday the 13th. If you're wearing the H2O Delirious skin as Jason and you look underneath his legs, you'll see a secret message. With Jason's barber skin, you sometimes randomly give players haircuts. If you're wearing the Idiot skin, there's a random code on his torso, and if you type it into Google, it actually translates to the smiley face emoji. With Noob's inverted skin, if you try to have a conversation with a character like Elliot, his words are spoken backwards. If Two Time were to wear the baby skin while doing the gritty and sprinting, he would go insanely fast. Now, it used to be true that Cool Kid's propeller hat on his whimsical skin would spin as the player ran or walked, but as of the newest update, that feature was removed.
It's just you and me! Father! See you next time!
Just like the H2O Delirious skin, on the bottom of Taft's Overseer skin, there's a secret message. The reason why people tend to think this Cool Kid skin is pay to win is because of the fact that there's no voice lines, making it unbelievably easy to sneak up on unsuspecting players. Chadletsky's Sunderland skin makes zero noise when you attack. Rust was a concept killer, but he's actually a YouTuber. He basically just makes horror games, or plays horror games, kind of. The reason he was mainly scrapped was because they just didn't like the concept enough to go forward with it. Not every two-time player likes to backstab, but if you're ever playing killer and see one of them trying to back up into you, they're probably going to try and stun you. Now for this video, I'm not really sure what exactly this is. If it's an exploit, a glitch, but it sure looks hilarious. What is going on? This is how you speed up your emotes. First, you gotta sprint into a climbable surface, like this fence right here, and then you gotta activate an emote. Oh dude, does this not work anymore? Are you serious? I actually thought this one was gonna work too. There's sort of a rumor out there that if you use corrupt energy spikes, you should be able to climb them. And that's all just by walking backwards into them. But it might be false because I can't seem to do it for some reason. I just opened up 2 accounts and I'm gonna wait around and see if we get it on both of them. As of now, 5 generators spawn on each map, but it didn't always used to be this way. In older versions of the game, either 3 to 5 would spawn on some maps, probably leading people to think that this was actually a glitch. Cool Kid's walk speed override doesn't care about walls at all. You can basically punch through small barriers, and you can even execute them through it. Now, if you're in a private lobby and you go down to Force Next Game Mode, there should be one called Extermination. As you can see, I get a gun, which is kind of crazy, but my main objective is to actually kill the killer. You also get a flashbang, which you can use to blind the killer, like this. And by the way, killers can pick up your weapon after you die and use it against your teammates. The original version of the Planet Voss map is a little bit different from the one we have now. But one of the biggest differences is that instead of generators, you had to collect pumpkins. The song Ring Around the Rosie is thought to have originated from the Black Plague. And of course, during that era, they believed that bad smells would cause disease. So that's why they carried around things like flowers and good smelling oils. But that's also why 1X has an ability called Mass Infection. And if you couldn't tell already, one of Cool Kid's abilities lines directly up with his part of the song.
Ashes, ashes, they all fall down.
Just a month back, there was this glitch where you could basically respawn on top of maps. And I wanted to see if it would still work. Please, please work, please work, please work. No! Oh. Please, 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 please work. Oh, it didn't work. It's fine. It didn't work. On this map it didn't work. Let me fix it. Now that we're at the halfway point, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. It's only gonna get quicker from here. Now, completing generators basically reduces the amount of time randomly. Honestly, it'd be so cool if they gave you more of a reason to actually complete them, but besides XP and a time reduction that's basically nonsense, they really don't matter that much. So all we have to do is just go over to this cat, just interact with it a bunch. There we go. Get a cat patch, apparently. With this skin, the punch should be super quiet. If you couldn't have told by now, this skin makes no noise when it charges a punch. Now, the Insane Streamer skin was released on April 1st of this year, and was basically meant to be a joke, but stayed around until April 21st. If you couldn't tell, it's supposed to be Germa. But I also want to say, someone made an unofficial soundtrack for it, and it goes hard. There are currently 220 skins in Forsaken, and if you decided to buy all of them, it would cost around 357,000 in-game dollars. But if skins aren't your style and you just wanted the emotes, that would cost around $21,000. Blue Dude by far has had the most variations of his skin in the game. Blue Dude is technically the first skin in the game to have its own emote. Unlike other killers though too, his emote can also be used in public lobbies. This random head mounted on the wall is actually from an old game. And these Draco blocks or characters are actually supposed to represent dragons. Back in the day, you didn't really have many tools to work with, so this noob skin is a direct reference to this meme. He'll also cry when he's below 50 health. This skin also comes from another meme, which I'll show here. So what's special about the Memoriam skin for Shadletsky is when you die, a PNG pops up on your screen. Charlatan is an all-new upcoming killer for Forsaken. Not much is known about her playstyle just yet, but what we do know is the fact that she'll be using a rocket launcher and a bat as weapons. But another thing really interesting about her is that if you go onto the map Pirates Bay, you can actually find graffiti of her character. Make sure you have the headbanging emote, looks like this, and just go up to these two particular walls right here in the lobby. Just do the headbanging into the wall, and you'll just be in the wall now. And then shift locked, and you can just like kind of fly. Now, if you come over here from the main house, at this fence, there's a monster that's made out of cake. What it's supposed to be referencing is this game called Make a Cake and Feed a Noob, and it's been around since 2010, so 15 years. Using Builderman's turret and Taft's subspace trip mine feels basically unfair. It's honestly an OP combination. Because Taft is technically mute, when he has a conversation with other survivors, he'll use emojis instead of words. As long as your tripwire isn't interrupted at all, you can basically place it as far away as you want from the other end. Now, Azur is a planned killer, but he's also a part of 2Time's lore. Originally partners, they were in a cult called Spawn, which I'll get into later. As time progressed, 2Time became more obsessed with the idea of respawning. But this is what led them to killing and sacrificing their partner. As of now, there's 5 private server exclusive maps. That includes Swordfight and Heights, Area 51, Template Town, Generator Hell, and Generator Hell 2. Out of all the killers and survivors, Shadletsky has the most skins, around 56 of them. Jane Doe is currently a planned survivor, but originally was supposed to be an NPC. In universe, Jane Doe and John Doe are both married, but because of his corruption, he doesn't actually know who she is anymore. So even though she's technically not a myth, we still don't know anything about her character arc or how her and John Doe are gonna play out. Just Shapen Beats is a fun rhythm game you can find on Roblox, and they decided to make 2 skins as a collaboration. It's literally just a Gangnam style emote. On the Forsaken wiki, there's just a bunch of very specific information about Blue Dude. He's 12 years old, he loves Jersey Club, and his favorite game is Minions Adventure Obby Despicable Forces Ultimate. Noli is the next upcoming killer to the game. We don't know where exactly he fits in the lore yet, but what we do know is he has a few abilities. So feel free to read them while I put them on screen. The California Girls emote is in fact the best emote in the entire game. Now Forsaken has a lot of achievements that you can get by playing the game, but there's been only 2 that they've had to remove. One was called Unforgettable, which relates to the California Girls emote. Basically you'd earn this by having 2 people emote in front of the killer, but they had to delete it because it promoted toxicity. And the other one's called Untrusting Stranger. Basically, the player had to meet Jane Doe, who was planned originally to run a store in game. Frozen Soul or Dream Game is an adventure type combat-ish game. I'm not really sure quite what it is, but a while back, Forsaken and Frozen Soul collaborated and made 3 skins. For a reason they never specified, later on they decided they didn't want their characters in Forsaken anymore, and they took out 2 of them, but left Mafioso, at the request that they change the skin. Simply, I thought this skin was really interesting because it's a reference to an old episode of Tom and Jerry called the Zoot Suit. From 2006 to 2014, Shedletsky was the creative director for Roblox. A graduate from Stanford University with a master's in science, he helped design a lot of the early systems Roblox still uses today. And for a lot of users, he's a symbol of the way Roblox used to be. Guest 66 is based off a Roblox myth from 2017, and he's an upcoming killer to the game with relation to Noob, basically having been his friend in the past until their friendship eventually decayed and him getting banned from the game, after which he was forsaken and turned into a monster. That storyline is perfectly reflected in each of Noob's milestone skin descriptions. The betrayed skin for 1x1x1x might actually be pay to lose. He's kinda like a boss in a video game who warns you of his attacks before he makes them.
Feel my entanglement. This is mass infection. I see you.
In the works, there seems to be a collaboration between Hatsune Miku Project Diva, which is another rhythm game, and Forsaken. There's been some skin leaks, but besides that, we don't really know the release date or anything else. Mafioso's redesign is going to be completely different from the Dream Game version, and it's supposed to release in the exact same update that Noli does. Can you actually kill a killer? Yes, you can, but only a few people have actually done it. On YouTube, there's OK Timbo, Perhaps Skid, and Ben Shore, whose video I recommend you go watch right after this. But what I got from these videos is that having a team of chances is the best method. Now, the golden skins are the most expensive skins that you can buy right now in the game, and there's only 3 of them. One for Shedletsky, Chance, and Dusakar, and they all cost around 100,000 in-game dollars. This might be the coolest upcoming skin yet, and it's called MLG Chance. What's sick is you get a sniper rifle instead of a pistol, and for coins, he uses Doritos. Now it's time for a complete tone change. Earlier in the video, I mentioned the Spawn, which is a cult. Their main belief is if they pray to this Spawn god, they'll have the ability to respawn. While characters like Dusakar can use magical powers that they've gained from the Spawn doesn't give anyone the actual ability to respawn, making the entire cult a hoax. 2Time's powers actually came from the Spectre, another entity in this universe, and he's most likely the reason why all these characters are stuck in Forsaken. Forsaken lore-wise being an infinite loop of killers killing survivors over and over again. And that's why the best way to make money in this game is by being the killer. Abilities like Behead, Walk Speed Override, and John Doe Spikes generate the most money if you get consecutive hits in. But if you're playing as a survivor, I don't recommend you play Elliot, who's been nerfed, plus he's like the biggest target for killers. 007 and 7, who really doesn't generate that much money with his abilities, and some of them just do nothing. But who I do recommend you play though is Shedletsky. Being a support unit, his main job is to stun the killer, and since you're not a huge target, and Shedletsky's pretty easy to play, you could just make money off generators and then could come back once in a while and just hit the killer and run away. Now, for myth 100, I found this insane key command, and it basically works like this. All I gotta do is just press Alt and F4, and I'll instantly have $1 million.